What's happening, Champion Squad? Welcome beautiful faces back to the channel. Now for today's video, I have an awesome 4K damage gameplay review for you guys with a support legend. I actually got a comment recently that I saw, and it was someone asking how to get the 4K damage badge with a support legend, with a slower moving legend. Obviously, you got Wraith, Pathfinder, Octane, legends that can bail the gunfight if you're in deep trouble. With Octane, you can stim out, jump pad out, Wraith obviously phase out, and Pathfinder, you can grapple out. Or we can also add Bang into the mix, get your smoke and bail out of the scene. So now we're going to focus on support legends. So I was using Lifeline this game, and I ended up getting 4,000 damage with about 6 kills, which was absolutely farming madness. So you guys are going to see in the game, especially towards the end of the game, you're going to see what I mean by farming. And throughout this game, I'm going to show you guys what sort of distance you should keep yourself between you and the enemy, what game mode you should be playing, and how many teammates you should actually have on your team. So first and foremost, we're hopping into trios. I was with my boy Control, shout out to him, and we had a random. So the problem with having a random is you really got to get lucky with them not being over aggressive. Now for me, you're gonna see this guy's an absolute certified beauty. This Rachino kid, he was an absolute beauty towards the end of the game because there was a team camping in this trailer. I don't want to spoil it too much, but he could have easily pushed in there by himself, knock one, just ruined the game, absolutely ruined it. But I had to farm about 1,000 damage towards the end of the game to actually get the 4K damage badge. And luckily, this guy held his ground, farmed with us, stayed back. So let's talk about the weapon combo I was using for this game. Now I was running G7 Prowler, and I actually managed to get them both off the rip. First and second gun, I got a G7 and a Prowler, which is absolutely fantastic. You don't have to go searching for it. Now, Prowler, you don't really need the Prowler. A good secondary with the G7 would be R99 or R301. But always make sure you have that G7 on. Now, a sniper can go huge, whether you're using a sentinel, longbow, anything like that. But the problem with the snipers, even though they deal so much damage, is you run out of ammo, and you don't really find too many people using snipers. So if you're trying to loot for ammo, you're gonna put yourself in a bad situation. You're gonna waste a lot of time when you can use that precious time to farm damage. So that's why I love using the G7, because trust me, you're always gonna find light ammo. Everyone's using light ammo. And for the G7 optic, highly recommend either the 3x optic or the 2 to 4. Now the bruiser does go hard. The 2x basic goes really hard, but when it comes to farming damage, when it comes to playing it extremely safe, you need to have a far distance scope on your weapon. So minimum, I would say 3x, and then 2 to 4. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people don't actually use the 2 to 4 optic on the G7, but once you get adjusted to it, it is so good. But it does take a little bit of time to get used to it, so use whatever you're more comfortable with. Now personally, I like the 3x a little better, but don't get me wrong, I can still use that 2 to 4 and absolute dominate. I also want to mention that the teammate you're playing with, which was Control for my sake, they have to be a decent player. I mean, you got to be pretty good, or at least somewhat towards your skill, to be able to hold off the enemies. Since you're using a G7, you have a big scope on, and your only close range weapon is your secondary, which is either the Prowler or the R99, you don't really have that double swap secondary up close to absolutely butcher a team if they're aping you. So having a decent teammate that can hold their own and sort of help you out if they're trying to push you guys, that's going to help out a ton. This second gunfight we're in right here, where they're under the tunnel, holding cover, using the G7, get some Prowler shots in, and pretty simple from here. They were already weak. I got my team pushing from the other side. Notice how I'm trying to shoot anything I can get damage from. So if you see someone down, thirst them. If you see someone that's not even looking at you, start tagging them. Don't worry about making sure you get the kill. It doesn't matter who you're shooting. As long as you're putting damage in, that's a bonus for you. And that's always why I think that the 4K damage badge is always easier than the 20 bomb. Because you can't get your kill stolen, right? You don't have to worry about that. You're just focused on putting out damage and helping out the team, really. So there's going to be a point in this game where I actually noticed myself doing more damage than usual, and I was on the road for the 4K. At the beginning of the game, I wasn't playing on the 4K, right? Same thing goes for 20 bombs. When I say this all the time, when you're going for 4K or 20 bomb kills, or badge, should I say, don't worry about it right off the rip. Play the game, play it normal. If you get a good start to a game, and you figured that you're doing a lot of damage or you're getting a lot of kills than usual, then start, getting a different mindset of, oh wait, I can get a 4K this game, or oh wait, I can get a 20 bomb this game. Then you let your teammate know. So when I'm playing with Control, my one teammate that I had in this game, we're just playing fun, we're having some games going, and let's say he gets a lot of kills, maybe he's close to a 20, then I start helping him out. Vice versa, if I'm in line for a 4K or a 20 bomb, he's going to help me out. And it's all about communication. Let your teammate know what's going on, right? And don't be super annoying when it comes to playing with your teammates, right? Saying, oh, I'm going for a 4K this game when the game didn't even start, right? You never know when you can get a 4K game. It just has to be luck lined up with some skill. Now, working into Harvester is the key moment that I said when I knew I had this 4K game in my hands. And you're going to see once we had this gunfight in Harvester, I started cracking a ton of people. And notice I wasn't playing aggro though. So that's the thing. Sit back, crack, farm damage. Don't get too aggressive. Don't worry about the kills. You know, if you knock one, right, and you push up to finish, or you push up to do damage on someone else, that team is going to get absolutely wiped. So you're not going to be able to farm any more damage from that team, and it's useless. So you just wasted easy damage that you could have farmed. So here goes the gunfight where I'm on top of Harvester. I got the G7. Now notice I don't really have the best cover, and I'm actually pretty close to him. But I have confidence in my shot that I can hit more damage before they can fry me. So they have really good cover, and that's the thing. So they're going to peek you. If they have the position advantage, they will peek you, and that's when you can farm them. But you also have to be aware that you don't have the cover, so you have to rely on your shot to be able to do the damage and hold them off. So I cracked about 2 people, got my shields cracked, and I leveled up my Evo to purple. So I backed up, and I always recommend using an Evo when you're going for the 4K damage game, because since you're farming at a distance, why not? You know, it's a bonus. You're going to get red Evo. And I actually go down here. I'm slow healing just so I can save some batteries. Got the drone out to fully cap my HP. I knocked one that was getting aggressive on me. But then another Wraith pushed me when I was only HP and got me down. And this also falls back on making sure you have that one teammate that can clutch. So I'm going to let this clip play out so you guys can see exactly what happened. Beautiful, beautiful work by Control there. Now that person was knocked, but one of them have self-res, so that team is pretty much dead at this point. And it sucks because I couldn't really thirst the people that were downed. Now, not every 4K damage game is where you're thirsting literally everyone that's down. I know I say to thirst knock players, because it's 100 bonus damage, right? But if you don't have the chance to, don't really stress over it. Focus on getting the damage, focus on getting shields cracked, focus on your shot. That's all you want to really focus on. And Control took kill leader from me, so as you know, I only have 3 kills right now, and I think I ended up the game with 6 kills, and I got the 4K damage badge. So you can get this 4K damage badge with under 10 kills easily. Then another team pulled up on us on Harvester, and they actually had height. I was fighting a Gibby with a red shield, and I had to bail down because I didn't really do too much insane damage on him. So I'm dropping down, cap up on the light ammo, because you know you're burning through that like water with the G7 when you're farming with it. And then I touched up a little bit on some heavy, and I was actually looking for a select fire as well, because that prowler is going to go huge when I get my select fire on it. And then boom, I actually see another team here with it was a Wraith, but her team is going to fully ape soon. So now we got a team on top of Harvester and a team pushing from the northeast side. So my plan here is, you know, to back up, create some distance, and get some good positioning. So I wanted to take height and be able to farm at a distance without being over aggressive. So first we try to focus on the team that was at top Harvester, because that was our biggest threat at the moment. The other team was still way out northeast. They weren't really pushing up on the scene too aggressively yet. So we're holding head glitches, keeping the distance, using that 3 times range, right? When you're using the optics on the G7, you want to keep the range of the optics, so that way it's easier. You don't really need to worry about bullet drop, anything like that. So this distance where I am right now, where I'm farming, you know, red Evo, nearly cracked, purple, that guy was nearly cracked. This is around 3 times range. You just have to put the reticle right on the person, shoot, and you're going to connect. You don't really have to worry about bullet drop. Now, one quick tip that I want to cover when you're farming for these 4Ks is, notice I have red Evo, and it's not even fully healed up. I'm not wasting my bat. I'm not wasting all my cells. Because when you fully heal up, let's say I have 1 bat left. That's probably why I was saving it. But when you have a lot of cells and you have to full heal your red Evo, it's going to waste a good bit of time that you could have been farming. So I like to maybe get 1, 2, maybe 3 cells in, and then I start farming it again. Because I know I'm going to get the better of the exchange since I'm running a G7 with the 3 times. If someone has like a wingman at this range or an R99, it's a decent range, right? You're going to get the better of the exchange. Here comes the team poking at me from northeast. Get a little bit of damage from them as well. But notice, this is when I told Control, I'm on the road for a 4K damage game. So this is the point in that I knew I had this 4K game in the bag. And I was telling him, you know, play it a little bit slower with me. Give me stuff that I need. Well, I didn't really need anything in this situation, but so that Harvester team on top actually bailed. And this is me trying to shoot him. This was a hard range to hit. You really got to aim above and ahead to land some shots here. I hit that Gabriel for 22 and the Wraith goal 36. And that's actually the damage that I needed. Because I think I had 4,027 damage or something like that. Something crazy. I barely made the 4K. Now this is the Northeast team. They pulled up. We still have height. And now notice I'm thirsting, right? I'm thirsting all these kids. So I knock one and I fully thirst them. And that's because if you pay attention, the ring is closing in. Round 3, 15 seconds about to close, and we're not even in zone. So if I sit here and try to farm these kids, you know, let them heal, we're gonna have to move in. They're gonna start closing the distance on us. It's gonna end anyways, right? So when you're in a position like this where the zone's about to close in, you're not in zone, and you have a team in front of you, just full kill them, right? Knock one, thirst one. Knock the other, thirst one. Repeat. So after that team is dead, the other two teams are fighting now, and they just finished right away. There was probably a solo on one of the teams, and now it's 2 squads left. So us and the other team. And right now, if I had to guess how much damage I have, probably about 2,900, 2,800, maybe 3K. So I need 1,000 damage. And thinking about it, you can get 1,000 damage off of one team. You know, end game like this, where teams have red evos, golds, everything like that, they're gonna have loot. They're gonna have loot to heal up. So keep your distance and farm. So notice here, we're going to actually post up on this team. We'll actually see them soon. They're a little bit past. They're close to leaf, but they're not in leaf yet. Or tree, whatever that place is called. And notice my teammate pinged the Kraber and I didn't take it. That's because Kraber, yes, you can hit for like 152, 148, whatever it is. But if you're getting a headshot and you knock somebody with that Kraber, you never know with your random. They might get aggressive, they might push and end the game. And you don't want that to happen. All you want to do when you're farming these games is make sure you shield crack, maybe hit 1 or 2 shots flesh, and let them survive. Repeat. Get that process going. So I know that team is somewhere down there by tree, and I'm just shooting around. Maybe I can bait them out so they can start peeking. Because right now we're wasting time. 50 seconds left till the next zone closes, and that's going to make it even closer for us to get on that team. So I want to start farming as soon as I can. So don't be scared to shoot around. Make sure to bait that team in, and then you can start farming quicker. Now, a good thing that Control was actually doing for me is, since he knew I was in line for this 4K game, he was trying to find angles for me that I could take, right? So I came up on this vine here. I got a little bit of decent shots, but this is not really the best position. Even though I'm in zone, I don't have the best angle on them. Now, if you notice Control, he went over to the left rock and took some height there, and that was a perfect angle that he had. And he was letting me know, you know, take this angle, trade off with me, and start farming from here. So when you have your teammate, and since your teammate doesn't really want to shoot them and knock them and put too much damage on, make sure your teammate is looking for some good angles and some good spots that you can take to farm damage. So after I did the damage on this vine here, you know, not too much damage, but I did some decent damage there, maybe about 150 to 200. And then I swapped positions with Control. So he told me, you know, this is a good spot. Since you're camping in that trailer, you can only see from the side windows. Take this angle on the left and maybe you can poke him through the windows. And that's exactly what he was doing a little bit. So then we ended up trading spots. So this new angle that I got is pretty awesome for now. You know, I only have a minute left, roughly a minute left, to farm as much as I can from this angle before we have to push even more closer to the enemies. And that next push, that's when it gets sort of risky because then you're super close and it tempts other players to full ape you or for your teammate to full ape them. And that's why I was saying at the beginning of this video, godsend. Chino over here is an absolute certified beauty that he wasn't full aping this team and sort of being too aggro and end the game. Now, let's say you don't want to take the risk of your third teammate to go full ape mode. Invite him to the party, message him, let him know, hey, listen, I'm really close to a 4K damage game. Invite him to the party. Maybe he can help you out as well. And if he does, that's a bonus, man. So here we go. This is where we only have like about 10-15 seconds left. They're outside. Notice how I'm not really knocking one. I'm hitting them flesh for a bit, but I don't want to full knock one. And I'm not in zone, so I put my care package here to create some cover because I knew they were still going to camp in there. But what else are they going to do? They're just sitting in there. So I have that care package there, and I can use that care package to push up and then peek from the left and right side while still farming them. Got some good shots in the smoke there. Now notice I knock one. Chino's getting a little bit aggressive there. Luckily he didn't push in, but I'm not doing any other damage to anyone else just so I know they can get that res off. Because when you knock one and you start making another one extremely weak or nearly knocked, he's not going to go for the res. Wraith climbs up. She gets cracked, hit her flesh for about 36, and that's it, right? I didn't fully kill her. I let her go back in the trailer, heal up again. So now if I had to guess how much damage I have, maybe 3,500, should I say, or 3,600. So we're getting there. It's damn close. And I really think Apex should actually add a tracker on your top right of how much damage you have in the game, because it tells you how many kills you have in the game, right? Might as well add the damage. Since a badge in the game is how much damage you deal in a match, might as well do that so you can keep track. That would be so helpful. I'm not in a good spot. I get cracked. So I back up, full heal. And this is where I waste my last bat, because I know once this is over, once this farming session is over here and that next zone closes, it's going to go all in. We can't really farm anymore. That's where we have to just full kill them and just hope for the best. Make sure you're thirsting everyone that's knocked and get as many kills as possible. Look at that. Knock the Gibby. Tag the lifeline a bit. Nearly. Oh, I did crack the Wraith and hit her flesh. That was some beautiful damage there. Zone's closing. And keep in mind, I almost died here. I was going to be so pissed. Watch this. I wanted to full heal before I got into that close last ring. And I was trying to crank my last cell. Look how hard this zone is hitting. Look at this. Oh my. If it ticked one more time, I was dead. So knock the lifeline. Look at quick thirst. Quick thirst on the lifeline. Then there's one person left. I think someone else knocked the Gibby. And she gets killed. Boom. And I'll pay attention to this damage that I had at the end of the game. Like I said, I think I had 4,028, 4,027. It was literally made it on the marker, on the money. So any one mistake that I had could have cost us this 4K damage game. I probably would have been extremely upset, but managed to pull it out. Let's see what we got. 4,028. See? Right on the money. Only 6 kills with 4,000 damage. That's why I said these 4,000 damage games are easier than the 20 bombs. As long as you get one good teammate with you, farm damage with a G7, keep your distance, run it 3 times or 2 to 4, and you're golden. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to drop a like. It's always appreciated. Subscribe, join the Champion Squad. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, this has been your boy Sultan. I'm signing off. Peace.
All I want is